Hello, it's Tshidi Madia from the EWN Politics Desk, coming to you from inside the White House in Washington, D.C. We did say we'll be inside. We did say we'll go to the Oval, be inside the Oval. We did so. I think history has been made. President Cyril Ramaphosa, of course, being the first African president that Donald Trump hosted, right, on a working visit in Washington. I don't think there are surprises for many. It was preempted that there would be a trap that South Africa walks into. It did. We're told that there'll be golfers in the room, and there's this interesting back and forth about why they are here, whose behest it is that led to their presence. Government people saying to me a few days ago that it is not at their behest, but they have no issue with the golfers. Interesting messages coming from those delegations, particularly the South African delegation, but of course Trump pulling his so-called Trump card, if you may, being that the visual illustration of his points. He's attempting to prove that there is something wrong, that there is a genocide, that white South Africans are under siege, and he used political rhetoric, political speak, political theater by Julius Malema to make that point. And I think our president, you did see people looking uncomfortable. If you look at the South African delegation, their faces were actually quite clear that this is an uncomfortable moment. They knew something would happen, but they kind of squirmed their way through it. But you've got to be able to give President Ramaphosa some props. I think they say he's cool under fire. That's exactly what he displayed. He attempted many a time to explain himself. He attempted to stop himself from being dragged into chaos, but to try and defend particular positions, to speak about the Constitution. He brought in John Steenhuisen saying, yeah, he's a white man who serves in my government, who can speak on the issue of land. And I think that there are people who've applauded, mind you, John Steenhuisen for the comments he made. Interestingly enough, people were wondering about Johan Rupert. I think to some that might be the hero of the day. He stood up, he stood out, he stood up for South Africa, made his points very clear about why what he believes in and what is wrong, and that the actual problem in South Africa isn't about a targeted group. It's an overall prime issue that everybody has to resolve. And I thought it was a nice one, an interesting touch rather, that he looked at John Steenhuisen and said, what he's not telling you is from the Western Cape, and there you've got a murder problem, a murder rate problem. I thought that was an interesting one to also take a dig at other political parties, that it's not just the one problem that South Africa is dealing with, it's multi-pronged. So that's the engagement.